And away we go.
All right. So, what's in the news today?
Well, before we get to the news, I've said some stuff in the chat, which
Which
are,
chat? Yeah.
yes, on Discord.
Yeah, I know, because we're in two chats together, so I was just trying to specify.
Yes, there's the one for our project, and the other that we're in with Risk, talking about whatever goes on in this world.
Yeah, pretty much. So, what did you say in the chat?
My phone won't let me in for some reason. Oh, okay, I'm back on now. Okay, so, first one, Buzz Aldrin.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Buzz Aldrin.
Him. What about him?
Okay, so your girl was asking him questions like, well, how come we've never been to the moon again, like since the 1960s, and
Wait a
Buzz
minute.
Aldrin,
Wait, isn't that what I literally asked last episode?
yes, like the other podcast, we were talking about Katy Perry and other
Yeah, it's
female
like,
celebrities and Jeff Bezos' wife
yeah,
going into space,
yeah,
allegedly.
that's what I was wondering. Why haven't we been to the moon again? It's like if one man can do it, that a million men should have been able to do it already.
Yeah, that's very true. And even Buzz Aldrin said to the girl, that's not a question for a young child. That's a question for me. Even I want to know, he said, have I even been to the moon? Even Buzz Aldrin was questioning if he actually been there.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. Wouldn't he have known if it was fake or not? What was he drugged?
Well, that's the mystery. He literally did question, despite the fact he was part of the mission in the 60s to go to the moon.
I'm sorry. How was he questioning it? Was he on drugs?
Well, he never said anything related about what was state he was in. He was just questioning it. He literally did question it himself.
Hold on. I mean, I'll be honest. It's either old timers or he's legitimately questioning if he's actually been on the moon. It's either old timers or just something else. I really don't know what. Man, imagine the guy questioning if he's been on the moon, even though he was a part of that project.
Exactly.
That is a bit weird.
It is very strange indeed.
I mean, he looks pretty old though. I mean, so who knows? It might be old timers or L timers. No, old timers. I think that's how you say it. But anyways, yeah, like that is a bit weird.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, huh? If I had to question at my old age if I'd been to the moon, I probably hadn't been to the moon. That is confusing though. I mean, you would think that he would at least be able to remember like what happened during that event, right?
Yeah, he should.
He
Buzz Aldrin.
yeah,
Mentally, yes.
or like long gone. What, like mentally, like he's still alive? Wait, he's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive today.
Oh, he's just like old timers.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate. How old is he now? Like his 90s?
He's roughly.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so he's just not there mentally anymore, but he's still with us. Okay, gotcha. That's very unfortunate. That really is.
He's 95.
Wow. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I had a good feeling he was somewhere in his 80s. I didn't think he was in his 80s when all that happened. And
Yeah, that would make sense.
yeah, he's an old dude. Makes sense. All right. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, he probably hasn't been to the moon though. And I'll be honest, even in that one video, they could just say, "Oh, he just has old timers, so he doesn't really completely remember everything." They could just pin it on if they were trying to hide something, which I'm not gonna lie, I really don't think that they're trying to hide much anymore nowadays. They would just pin it on, just say, "Oh yeah, he's not mentally there anymore." And even you said he's not mentally there. So, hey. So, it'll probably always forever remain a mystery whether he's been on the moon or not. I mean, maybe if you asked him as a young man, then he'd probably say something. Or you'd probably catch him in a lie, but he's old. So he's not gonna remember that.
He won't, no.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate. Do you have any more thoughts?
Well, the question of can we escape our atmosphere is still quite the mystery, and we may not get to that answer in our lifetimes. So, yeah.
Huh. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, so what else is in the news?
Thousands report Spotify problems around the world.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Tens of thousands of Spotify users, including myself, before starting this recording and uploading the recent episode as of this recording, worldwide reported issues with the music streaming app on Wednesday. So, literally today, as of this recording.
Okay, so what were some of the problems that you have encountered? Because I'm not gonna lie, I really only use Spotify to listen to music. I don't think I've really seen any problems from my end.
Well, this was early in the morning in US East Coast. For me, it was in the afternoon.
Gotcha. Okay, I was probably asleep.
So Spotify stated, "We are aware of the outage and working to resolve it as soon as possible," according to a spokesperson. Dow Detector indicated that over 20,000 people reported Spotify was not functioning on Wednesday afternoon.
Wow, man, that is Spotify. You kind of got to fix your stuff, you know. That's the only thing I got to say. I mean,
Yep.
I only use them. I only use it to listen to music, but for other people, yeah, Spotify, you got to fix yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, Spotify, get it right.
Get it right, Spotify.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll threaten to say. What will we threaten to say?
How would I know? I don't give a damn.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. I know they're gonna fix it. Wait, or else we'll threaten to say. Yeah, I don't know. I really. So, I was gonna say we'll threaten to say Hitler's name 100 times, but we're not gonna do that. Well, we're not gonna do that because I do not care. I really don't. But
Neither do I.
yeah. But yeah. So hopefully Spotify gets that fixed, and hopefully it's fixed now.
Yeah, it is fixed now, but early in the day, I was having problems uploading the one of the most recent episodes to Spotify. So that was quite the interesting. Well, it was partially stressful, but I've been there, done that, been through this many times. So I was just laughing my arse off. That's a good one. That you're really testing my nerves there.
Yeah, it is what it is, and
And it was what it was.
exactly. Things happen. Things happen. I mean, it got fixed, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now, but things happen.
Yes, they do.
Man, it's been like what 2 years since I've done my own podcast. Yeah, 2 3 years ish. Huh?
Yeah, for me it's at least 3 years.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I got bored of that so quickly. I don't know why. Probably because I was doing one thing. Probably because I was doing one niche, or I was trying to be something that I wasn't. Either way, you know, it's in the past now, so it doesn't
It
really matter.
is, yes.
But yeah, Spotify, good job because you got it fixed. Good job. I don't really know what else to say. Good job. I would offer to pat them on the back, but they get paid to do their job. So good job, I guess.
Yes. They're making way too much money these days.
A lot of companies are making way too much money these days.
But the way Spotify is making their money is just criminal. Not literally, but metaphorically as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Metaphorically criminal.
Yes. But also literally, but mostly metaphorically.
You said a little bit literally, but mostly metaphorically.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But what are we gonna do about that? Or what can we do? Wait, I know what we can do. We can write a strong worded letter, expressing our disappointment in Spotify for having this mistake and for doing whatever they do behind the scenes. I really don't know what they do behind the scenes.
Well, they do something.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, but anyways, what else in the news?
No white ban in Lebanon due to Gal Gadot's Israel support.
Wait, no white men in what?
No, Snow White, the live action movie.
No white. Oh, Snow White. Oh my. Oh, I thought you said no white men or no white. Okay, Snow. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Okay. All right, yo, say that one more time.
Okay, Snow White, live action movie by Disney, was banned in Lebanon due to Israel support from Gal Gadot.
Wait, hold on. So I'll be honest. At first, I thought you were gonna say the movie was banned because of how bad it was.
Well, yeah, that too, but there's other reasons, like I just mentioned.
Okay, wow. I'm not gonna lie. I really do wonder if countries really ban that movie because of how bad it is. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Me and my friend were discussing this. They could have found how they could have found real short people to fill the scenes of the door for the dwarfs.
They really could have.
It's like, bro, it's like they really could have found real short people for that job. And you know what the sad part is?
What?
I'm pretty sure towards the end there was a short dude. He could have been one of the elves or trolls or what are those guys?
Elves, trolls, goblins.
I'm just gonna say that they're elves. This, you know, based on what I remember. There was an actual short guy in the movie. But of course, me and my friend, you know, we kind of just swished through it because we were not gonna watch that whole movie. I'm not gonna lie, the beginning was boring. The songs were expected, so I'm not complaining about any songs because that was just expected.
Yeah, it's Disney. Of course, there has to be songs in there somehow.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit the movie, of course, then the song shouldn't be there. Yeah, no. If it doesn't fit the movie, the song should not be there. I'm looking at you, Joker movie.
The second one,
Yeah, with what's her face?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. I'm still convinced that they did that because of Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Like I'm still convinced that that only happened because of Lady Gaga and the fact that Lady Gaga is a singer.
yeah, very true.
I'm sorry, I was just laughing at something else. But yeah, anyways, yeah, Lady Gaga. I'm not gonna say it's. I'm not even. You know what? I'm not gonna completely blame Lady Gaga. I'm not going to. She did her job. It was the director's fault for making the movie, like you know, mostly singing. I blame the
Yeah,
direct. I blame the directors. I blame the well not even the writers. You know what? No, I blame the writers. The directors
they just gone with it.
pretty much. I think directors do have some say in what's in the script, don't they?
Yeah, but not a lot.
Okay.
All
You
they
know,
do is just direct the actors and the crew
now look.
based off what the script says.
Now look. I will say this: one or two songs I would have let slide. Three songs, I also would have let slide. Four songs, a bit much, but fine. Five songs, very much, but I would have let it slide. If it was a minimum of five songs, fine. Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do expect Joker to sing a little bit, but not as much as he did in that movie. Because I don't know, it seems like you know it's not Joker if he does not at least sing a little bit. He shouldn't sing for dang near the entire movie though,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't look like a musical. But let's get back to Snow White because we completely diverted from the topic.
We sure? Yes.
Yeah. So because you said in Snow White they were showing support for Israel.
Not the movie, but the actress.
Oh, the actress who plays Snow White was supporting Israel.
No. The evil queen, Gal Gadot.
Okay. Wow, I was way off. Okay. So because one person supports Israel, that's why the movie is banned.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but that's not the only movie that's banned in Lebanon.
Hold on. Before we go, speaking of Israel, I'm not gonna lie. I was at work yesterday. Lie. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it was some holiday that they celebrate or something. But I'm not gonna lie. It was the most. That day was the most. Like you know. I mean, I know. I live in New York, and there's a bunch of Jewish people here. But yesterday was the most Jewish people I've seen in one spot. They were pretty
Wow.
nice. Honestly, they were pretty nice. You know, I saw the ones with that. I'm gonna be honest. Weird hair. Weird, like you know, long strand haircut with the top short and the sides long. I don't understand that. I really don't. I really don't understand that haircut. I was joking in my head. I was like, I was like, what kind of riz is that? But at the same time, I guess they, But yeah, no, most of them were nice for the most part. Yeah, there were a lot of big families. I'm like, wow, like these they really know how to have a whole family. But anyways, yeah. What other movie was banned?
Alright, so Anne Nahar reported that Gadot, known for her role in Wonder Woman, is included on Lebanon's boycott list.
Support for Israel, huh?
Yeah. And other movies includes Death on the Nile, also have been faced previous bans in Lebanon.
Wait, facing previous bans in Lebanon.
Yes, Death on the Nile.
Got you. All right. Well, I mean, if they want to ban those people in those movies, I don't care. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna all go to Lebanon anyways. They shouldn't care either. I'll be honest, banning an entire movie is a bit extra, especially just because of one person. But
Oh, it's been going on for years.
huh?
The whole the whole banning of movies and shows regarding anything Israeli has been going on for years.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there is a law where Lebanon is not allowed to broadcast any shows, movies, or any other media content that regards or features anything related to Israel or features people of Israeli descent or Israeli nationals and so on.
So if I were to go there and I waved an Israel flag, I would get thrown in jail.
I'm not sure about Israelis in media being put in jail. I think it's just a law against broadcasting Israeli themed content to Lebanese viewers.
Gotcha. Understood. Yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying. But anyways, what else is in the news?
American Airlines, the last of the major carriers, is adding free Wi-Fi.
Cool. Well, why are they referred to as the last major carriers?
Yeah, it's because American Airlines will offer free Wi-Fi starting in January 2026, increasing competitive pressure among airlines.
Gotcha. Okay. Understood. Well, at least the Wi-Fi would be free. Wait, they didn't have free Wi-Fi before?
Nope. Before this, and even now as of this recording, American Airlines doesn't have Wi-Fi within their aircraft.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, at least they're doing it now. But yeah. What else in the news?
Let's see. OpenAI says newest AI model can, quote, think with images, understanding diagrams and sketches.
It can think with images, huh?
It sure can.
Wow. I would say that I'm scared, but I'm not scared for two reasons. One, I'm way too tired to be scared. Like my body is just tired from like yesterday still because of work. I had to move around a lot. Like I had to move around a lot. But yeah, my body's still tired from yesterday. And two, I'm just not surprised. AI is going to keep improving. It's going to eventually rule our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we're eventually going to stop trying to figure things out for ourselves and rely on AI entirely, which is very dangerous. Like I actually got the revelation in my head that I'm like, you know what? Because I was going to this other place today, and I'm like, you know what? Let me try to find this place actually without a GPS. Let me actually try to read the signs, because I really, in some way, shape, or form, I don't want to keep. I don't want to keep. I want to still use technology, but it's like I don't want it to completely consume me to the point where I have to rely on it so much. I don't know. In a way, it's like, why? I mean, I can read, I can do all this stuff, I can do basic math, so why can't I figure this out for myself? Even if I get lost, I'll find it eventually. I mean,
Exactly.
if I was going really far places, then yeah, use a GPS. Or if I was going to a place I've never been before, then yeah, I'll use a GPS. But other than that, That's about it. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Host of 77th Emmy Awards reveal.
Who is it?
Comedian Nate Bargatze will host the 77th Annual Emmy Awards on September 14th at the Peacock Theatre in Los Angeles.
Awesome. I don't know who that is.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I don't really watch. I don't really follow any comedians. I don't. Speaking of comedians, where did Kevin? Why? How did Kevin Hart get so famous? Like, where
One
was
of
his?
life's,
Oh, I'm sorry, you're saying?
I was going to say one of life's greatest mysteries.
I mean, I could probably look up a YouTube video and easily see how, but
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
yeah, or like see where his humble beginnings started. I think I saw a clip of when he was younger and he was in like some sitcom or something, but I didn't really look into the sitcom because I just did not care. I'll probably care on another day. It's just not going to be today. It's really not going to be today. But anyways, yeah, I have no idea who that comedian is, but congratulations, your fans are proud of you.
Yes, they sure are.
Yeah, we might not be proud of you, but your fans are proud of you.
Exactly.
All right, so what else is in the news?
NATO chief reaffirms support for Ukraine during visit to Odessa.
Is there more in the story?
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte affirmed that, quote-unquote, NATO stands with Ukraine during a visit with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Interesting. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, this will come as a surprise to many people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Many people will be surprised. Some will like it, some will hate it, some will be mutual about it, and yeah, that's about it. Like, pretty much, there's not really much to say. A lot of people will just be surprised about it.
Yeah,
So, they should just hope and pray for the best.
yes. All will come to a mostly peaceful end.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so what else is there?
On the story,
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, just like in general. Like, in general, like the news in general.
well, other news includes.
But yeah, like, if you want to, like, elaborate on the story, that's fine as well.
That's alright, so. Smashed in a dawn as police stormed suspected stash houses for gangs.
Wait, hold on. They had a secret stash in a prison for gangs?
Not exactly. Pets at Home has announced a temporary halt on the sale of rabbits in its 460 UK stores from April 18th to April 21st. Peter reported that 80% of rabbits bought during Easter end up abandoned or dead within a year.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's it's a bit sad also.
It's mostly sad, yeah.
Yeah, it's just mostly sad, but it's also very interesting. And yeah. I don't really know what else to say about it. How about you?
I have a lot to say about this.
What happened?
I have something to say about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Animals are not just gifts for children. They are part of this environment. They are part of this world. Still, these animals are still living specimens, and they have the right to live as long as they shall live. And I don't usually talk about advocating for support for animals and such. All I do know is if people are being gifted animals as pets, you need to consider something. Is the person receiving the gift that is a pet? Are they responsible enough to take care of the pet in question? If the answer is no, then I would highly suggest, without question, don't gift them animals as pets. Because, in the short term, it's adorable to have a rabbit, a puppy, a kitten, or some form of animal. But if there isn't a commitment to have the responsibility of taking care of that animal, they shouldn't have that animal as a pet to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I can say the same. I can say the same thing. It's like pets are definitely a part of this environment, and they should definitely be kept safe. But yeah. What else in the news?
A solar boom counters power shortages in Niger.
Hello.
Hello,
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
neither do I.
What were we talking about again?
Solar boom counters power shortages in Niger.
What else is there on the story?
Solar energy is booming in Niger, driven by the increasing use of affordable solar panels and new projects. Recent advancements in lithium batteries and Niger's skilled workforce has helped support this solar boom.
Well, whatever their solo boom is, I'm hoping they have great success with it.
Yes?
Yeah, solo boom.
Solar,
What's a solo boom? Isn't every time when you launch a rocket and it blows up, isn't that a solo boom?
maybe. But it is very confusing depending on the context. Just like what Shadowminer once said about this other platform called Neptune. Like, what does Neptune represent? Is it a planet? Is it something the regarding to Poseidon, god of water in Greek mythology? Yeah, there's so many contexts and different interpretations that who knows? You could confuse it as a joke, but not many people get it.
I seriously don't know why I keep dozing off like that. I really don't.
Does the power does the power connection just cut off for you?
Did it?
I'm just asking because I'm just talking normally. I can still hear you from your end.
No, I don't think so. But yeah,
Okay.
what else in the news?
EU lists 7 safe countries as means to facilitate deportation.
Okay. Deportation. Tell me more.
The European Union has published a list of 7 countries it considers safe to facilitate migrant returns, including Kosovo, Bangladesh, Colombia, Egypt, India, Morocco, and Tunisia. This designation allows EU governments to process asylum applications from these countries more quickly by presuming such applicants lack merit. And Eric's having connection problems. Today's not the day, folks. They're really going at us. I'm surprised we're still doing these recordings every now and then. If they get our attention, then good on them. They really got us. Got 'em. That's what they all say. Are you back?
Yeah, I was here the entire time.
Strange, because on my end, I saw a little black box saying reconnecting and a loading icon. I thought you weren't able to hear me and you were just disconnected from the recording altogether.
Yeah, I saw the same thing too. Like from my end.
Very, very strange.
We haven't even talked about anything. What is going on? Spotify?
They're trying to mess with us, and it's working.
yeah, they really are. I'll be honest. I kind of remember you know, when we found out about the red pill, were we purposely trying to get canceled?
Well, oh, that's a good question. That's a very, very good question.
Huh. Yeah, that is a good question. Were we purposely trying to get canceled?
We were just being honest with our opinions, and everyone's entitled to their own opinions, even if we disagree them wholeheartedly. But of course, we were just being as honest we can be and just saying what we think about certain situations as they go on.
That's true. We're not kids anymore. We're grown men.
Yes, the manliest of men.
Yeah. 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 Amen. But yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyways, yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like there was a part of us that were obviously being honest, but also as a part of us was like, yeah, let's get canceled, and get up there like that.
Let's really make people mad.
I think that was the point. We were trying to make people mad.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Well, even if we were trying to get cancelled, the meaning of being cancelled has already lost its meaning.
It has. I think because so many people are quote unquote canceled, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem cool anymore.
Yeah, and they still become actually much more popular than they were before,
Yeah,
in some cases.
some of them do have to kind of change up a bit, but in order to actually get the reach that they want. I mean, shoot, look at Sneeko. He had to completely revert back to what he was doing before because he realized that what he was doing did not profit him at all whatsoever. And on top of that, he would have been stuck in an echo chamber.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I will say
Wow.
that. But some people do thrive off it, though.
Yeah, that was his one creator. She was not cancelled not just once, but twice, and they hit hard. But even then, she still managed to recover from it and still get as much traction and as much engagement as she did previously.
Amy Duncan from Good Luck Charlie?
No, I'm talking about a TikTok content creator.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that.
Okay,
What is she doing? Oh, I'll probably look it up when I'm bored. Yeah, I was about to ask, what is she doing now? I'll look it up when I'm bored.
a lot of things.
I would imagine. I would honestly imagine she's doing a lot of things. Women. All right, never mind. But yeah, yeah, women. That's all I have to say. But anyways, yeah, it's like when I'm eventually bored, I will probably look up what she's doing because if I have nothing better to do, why not? Right now, after this recording, I do have something better to do. I'm actually gonna eat. But yeah, I'm actually gonna eat, and then probably take a nap or something. Yeah, I'll probably take a nap. My body is still tired from yesterday, so definitely. But yeah. What else in the news?
Iraq sandstorm leaves 1,800.
Like breathing problems?
Yes.
Do tell more.
A powerful sandstorm in Iraq hospitalized over 3,700 people with breathing difficulties, according to the health ministry. Visibility decreased to less than 1 kilometer as thick dust covered many cities during the storm.
Wow. First off, may everyone be safe and may God be with them all.
Yes,
Second, I don't really have a second. I just hope everyone is safe.
I agree.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Sandstorms are quite a nightmare. And a case like this in Iraq, man, that is that is quite the achievement. A very devastating and deadly achievement at that.
Yeah, that's true. I 100% agree with. I do 100% agree with that. And yeah, it's best to just keep them in your prayers, and just hopefully they will prosper again as a society, as humans, as whatever else they are. As
Oh yes.
yeah, pretty much. That's all you can really hope for. But I think they'll bounce back because Iran is the biggest threat to America. Trump is shaking in his boots. That was cringe.
It could be worse.
Yeah, it could have been. That was terrible. That was still terrible. But anyways, yeah. I hope Iran is okay. Iran is okay though. I do. Yeah. What else in the news?
Xi says China will stand with Southeast Asian countries in face of economic shocks.
Okay. So, how come? If the article says anything about that.
Xi Jinping toured Southeast Asia, initiating his visit in Vietnam before arriving in Malaysia on Tuesday for a 3-day state visit. Mounting global economic uncertainty and trade tensions prompted Xi to reinforce regional ties and cooperation. During the visit, Xi met with Malaysia's King Sultan Ibrahim and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, agreeing to enhance collaboration. Xi stated China would stand with its Southeast Asian neighbors against global economic shocks and geopolitical confrontation. Xi's tour signals China's intent to strengthen regional partnerships, promoting stability amid global economic shifts and trade barriers.
Pretty interesting. Honestly, a very interesting read, and it's a very interesting perspective. And I'd say we should both take that into account when it comes to when it ultimately comes down to this grand scheme of when it comes down to the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
But yeah, do you have any initial thoughts?
yeah, I am shocked. Very shocked. Because the thing is, China, along with other Asian countries, they do not get along in the slightest. They have rivalries and competition, or at least there's hatred amongst their own people that goes back not decades, not centuries, but a millennia or two.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is.
So for these Asian nations, these Asian countries, to put aside their differences and work together, that is absolutely saying something. If you have to work with your enemy in terms of stress and in terms of uncertainty, you know something is about to get real. And oh boy, it will be on for sure.
Oh yeah, something is about to get very real, very very real, real quick. But how long would we have to wait until things get real?
Well, not long, because I'm assuming this is about the tariffs that Trump has imposed in a lot of nations around the world. Trump's saying he's putting a pause on these tariffs for like 30 days at least, and then by the 30 days, those tariffs will be unpaused and they will resume upon those nations, and we're about to see those tariffs in action. Hello?
Silence.
Yes, silence. Silence.
Yeah, what you said.
Very true.
Silence.
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 Oui, oui.
No,
Non,
we.
non, oui, oui.
Yeah, that.
No, oui, no, oui.
Yeah, but what else in the news?
Mississippi would lose billions if Congress cuts Medicaid, report says.
Well, oh no. Uh, so what else is in the news? Sorry, not what else in the news. What does the article say?
House Speaker Mike Johnson faced a rebellion amongst Republicans regarding Medicaid cuts in April 2025. The House Budget Resolution Framework called for $880 billion in cuts. Bugger.
Crazy.
Raising concerns about potential Medicaid reductions. A dozen House Republicans, including Valadao and Bacon, warned against Medicaid coverage reductions for vulnerable population.
That's true. Nothing but population. Man, wonder how they feel. Wonder how anybody would feel, really.
Yeah,
That's tough. That is tough. Or, want to be happy about it, that's fine too. Does not really matter. But yeah, it's tough work.
it sure is.
But yeah, what else in the news?
Extinction Rebellion occupies Gravenstein. Well-known climate activist clings to entrance gate.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. But yeah, what else is in the news?
Indigenous and climate activists rally in Brasilia ahead of COP30.
COP 30?
Yes, COP30.
Is this where cops gather together?
Maybe?
I mean, think about it. It's called COP 30. So I mean,
Yeah.
you would think that they do some type of training for like cops, or if it's just too sunny for it, who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's like a. But anyways, yeah. Do you have any initial thoughts on it?
Well, last time I've heard about COP30 or something in Brazil regarding COP, they said that they were cutting down trees in the Amazon, or I think it was the Amazon, or at least cutting down forested or jungle trees to build a highway that led to COP30, which is the biggest oxymoron that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, honestly, that does make a lot of sense. It does, really does. So, yeah. So it's like, is there any more in regards to like the story?
Yeah, there is. Let me just
Okay,
find
cool.
it. Let me just find it again.
Okay.
Okay. The event highlighted solidarity among climate defenders, with representatives from countries like Ghana and Papua New Guinea uniting to amplify the demand for climate justice on the road to COP30.
You know what? I will give them this. It might be for the climate, but at least there are people getting together doing something.
Yeah, good
It's
point.
it's sad how low the ball is for society, but it's something to be proud of. Yeah, but is there anything else in the news?
Ontario to loosen internal trade, remove barriers on alcohol and labour mobility.
How come they want to remove that?
Premier Doug Ford introduced the Protect Ontario Through Free Trade Within Canada Act in Toronto on Wednesday. The Ontario government aims to remove trade barriers between provinces to boost economic growth. This new law will recognize other provinces for goods, services, and registered workers with reciprocity.
But yeah, what else is out there?
Powell indicates tariffs could pose a challenge for the Fed between controlling inflation and boosting growth.
Do tell.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell expressed concern in a speech Wednesday that the central bank could find itself in a dilemma between controlling inflation and supporting economic growth.
Interesting.
Yes.
Just interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, how long do you think it would take you? How long do you think it would? I have a random question. How long do you think it would take you to become like a household name?
It varies. It depends on the profession you work in, what opportunities there are, and of course, the hierarchy in terms of the jobs that you work for, to get to exactly where you want to be in life.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. For a second, I thought you cut out for a minute because you just stopped talking like that. And I'm like, oh wait, did he cut out again? But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, you're definitely right. It's all about who you know, all about the connections.
Yeah.
And I would say it's all about talent, but it's not all about talent. You partially need to be talented, otherwise they'll just cut. Otherwise, if they like you though, they'll probably just push you somewhere to a degree, even though they know you're terrible. But hey, Sexy Red songs are terrible, but people like her, so if they can do it with her, they can do it with anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else in the news?
Let's see. Ant smugglers caught with hundreds of prized insects in
Um,
Kenya.
I'm sorry. What? Ant smugglers?
Yes, ant smugglers.
Okay, what could they possibly be smuggling these ants for? I'll wait.
Two Belgian teenagers, David Lonoy and Seppe Lodvie. I don't know how to. That's literally his last name. Lodvie were
Ludwig.
charged. Lodvie.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They
So
were
what's?
charged with wildlife piracy on Tuesday in Nairobi.
Interesting. So Ludwig. That's his last name. Ludwig.
Lodvie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Never. Yeah, I'm not trying. I'm not gonna try to say that. I'm not going to say that. That does sound like a. I don't know. That somewhat sounds like a Jewish last name, don't it?
You may think it sounds like a Jewish surname, but if you actually look at how it's pronounced, you'll think it's a Wi-Fi password of some sort.
Not gonna lie. Yeah, I completely lost track of what I was gonna say. Oh, what's the next story?
Australian Prime Minister says he trusts Trump and Xi during debate with election rival.
Why do you care what Trump is doing? You're not even in the country.
That's a good question.
Percentage?
Global economic growth could slow to 2.3% as trade tensions and uncertainty drive a recessionary trend, the UN Trade and Development Agency said on Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like I do not know why, but it's like I'm so tired, bro. It's like I hear you one moment and then I don't hear you the next moment, and it's like it's just weird.
Very strange.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Let me try something. Okay. I'm leaning up a bit. All right. But yeah. Let's get to the next story.
Alright, okay, this is a big one. I've heard this story from a lot of people that I went to high school, college, and university with, and they're all talking about it.
What?
And this story, yeah, like, this is the story. UK Supreme Court say, quote, women referred to biological sex under equality laws.
What?
Yeah, the UK's top court on Wednesday upheld an appeal by a campaign group on whether transgender women are legally women under equality legislation, ruling that, well, hold on, I'm gonna finish, ruling that the law referred to a quote-unquote biological women and biological sex.
So what does this mean?
Well, a lot of people that I've known in my life, when they shared their Instagram stories, they were talking about how goes against transgender individuals and how this is an attack on people who want to identify as someone that isn't the gender they were born with. So the story that I just read to you, the UK Supreme Court has ruled that the only genders that are identified in government documentation are male and female. That is it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And as for the transgenders, what about them?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of social media posts and stories that a lot of transgender activists are, well, arguably they're outraged. They do not like the decision that the Supreme Court of London, the UK have took. Like, the reason why they're mad is that they had to choose. Do they identify as a male or a female in UK government documentation? There's no other option besides those two. And what people that are transgender or people advocating for transgender rights, they would argue there should be another option besides male and female.
No, there shouldn't. No, male and female is fine. I mean, I'll say it. No, there shouldn't. I mean, and if there is, well, that's unfortunate, but that's them. There should not be. I mean, it's either identify as a male or a female. I mean, besides, they're calling them okay. They're calling themselves trans men or trans women. Like, bro, it's like they're giving you the opportunity to be what you want to be your truth, king or trans. You. I was gonna say king or queen, but I'm just gonna stick with you. They're giving you the chance to be the gender you always wanted to be. Technically. So for the women who transition into men, you can finally be men under the law. Fully man. And for the men who transition into women, you can finally be a full-blown woman under the law. Fully. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's cool and all, but they'll get over it. And even if they don't, well, it's not my problem. I don't care. But yeah, it's not my problem, but yeah, they'll get over it. You know, the activists aren't going to do anything. The law is not going to do anything unless they feel pressured to. And yeah, that's about it. Like, for me saying that. So, is there anything else in the news?
That's us.
All right. Peace.
Peace.